The cultural phenomenon The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is back with an all-new season now streaming on Hulu.
Where is everyone at? Mom Talk has gotten to a really hostile point.
Demi's willing to kick Jesse out of the group.
I feel like I'm walking into a lion's den.
It's gonna get messy, for sure.
Mom Talk is turning on each other left and right.
The police are here.
I can't see this going any other way but a pure bloodbath.
This is so toxic.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives now streaming on Hulu.
So first,
Absolutely.
and I was like,
let's dig it all up.
oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast. This is going to be a Mormon Wives edition because the second season dropped and Meredith and I...
we binged it.
We binged in 2 days. Less than probably.
Yes.
1 day?
Yes.
Crazy.
I mean, basically.
Yeah, we did really good. And we have
Hard
a lot
work.
to talk about.
We're really hard workers over here.
Honestly, it was kind of hard.
Hey, Alicia,
I
was
didn't pay
like...
attention during work yesterday. I was fully like, let me watch these wives.
Also, I'm like, did it get dumber? Or was like season 1 that good? Or are we just all obsessed?
Meredith, the way I even texted you and I was like, I'm losing brain cells watching this show. It was so... but then I go, they're younger than me, but I don't think I acted like this at their age. But then also they're moms. Shouldn't they be a little more grown up? Like,
Yeah.
I'm always going to be immature because, like,
Okay, that's what it is, Alicia. I was like, these people are so emotionally immature. It is
How are they
crazy.
moms? How
They
are
are
they
so
moms?
stunted. I'm concerned.
I don't know what happens in Utah or in their cult, but like, I got dumber watching them. They all weren't very likable. I don't know why I liked the show.
I agree. Like, in a lot of these fights, I was like, I don't think I'm on anyone's side.
No, literally, I was like, the only person I relate to is Macy because she doesn't care about anyone. And I was like, that would be me, I feel like. I would just not.
I fear for the people
care.
who would pick it up now and watching season 1 and then jumping to season 2 because I'm like, wait, how I felt about these people is so different.
We felt kind of the same, to be honest. Mostly because I didn't follow the Mormon Wives before the show.
That's true. I've been keeping track of them since that first season. And so I'm like, whoa, this is what was happening during all those postings?
Yeah, I didn't care. Like, I remember there was some drama and you tried to tell me about it and I was like, Meredith, I don't care. I don't care about these women. So I think that was it. And then watching, I was like, God, I really just don't care. But what do I know? Care about a bunch of white moms that all have the same hairstyle. Actually, I would love to talk about their hair and fashion once we get there. But before we jump into it, let's do a little bit of small celebrations because we do deserve to be celebrated still, even if it's a Mormon wife episode, you know? If they taught us anything, we should be empowering women. So, Meredith, I'm empowering you to share your small celebration.
I don't think this is really something to celebrate.
Great, let's hear it.
In Chicago, there was a massive dust storm on the nicest day. We finally got a nice day, and then it just, like, chaos ensued. I've never had wind so fast in this city, and then just, like, shit everywhere.
Where's it dusting from?
It came off of the lake. I saw videos of it after the fact, and it, like, looked like a plague from God. Like, was, ascending on the city.
It's the Pope. The Pope.
The Chicago Pope is... No,
Chicago
he should
Pope.
be helping us, not hurting us. Damn. But yeah, I mean, I gotta sit outside.
You thought he was a Cubs fan? Joke's on you.
I didn't.
Here's a dust storm. Here's a dust storm. You're
That's
looped in.
true.
It's one of those things. One shitty man does one edit, and look where it got you. The Pope's not having any of it.
He's like, remember who I am.
Yeah, I'm a White Sox fan.
What is your real celebration? Because I don't have
Me?
one.
Oh,
yeah, you.
I'm celebrating, though I love Chicago. Man, New York's the greatest city in the world sometimes. They crack me up, those New Yorkers. Oh, I love it. I have to live here 10 years because New York's the funniest city I've ever lived in. So, and I need to be a part of it officially. I even applied to finally get my license changed, which I'm technically in New York illegally because you're supposed to do it 30 days after you move. It's been almost 4 years for me, but I'm doing it so I can vote in the mayoral election coming up. And yeah, so I'm going to officially be a New Yorker. This city's hilarious. Let me tell you about it. So last night, actually this whole weekend's a big weekend for New York sports fans. Last night they did the Yankees and Mets Subway Crosstown
Series.
Classic.
Yeah,
whatever. That's happening.
Wait a minute.
I don't really... What?
I think Cubs and White Sox are playing this weekend too. Keep going.
Hey,
no, crazy.
No one cares because New York's the greatest city in the world. So that was happening. And everyone who had tickets to that game were like, no, that's great. But the Knicks were also playing in their game 6 against the Boston Celtics at Madison Square Garden. So everyone was like, is there a way at Yankee Stadium to also stream that?
Play the game.
Game. And then today's Saturday, the New York Liberty are they're doing their ring ceremony because they won the W championship last year. Oh my
God. Really big weekend in New York. Damn.
Let me tell you about New York. So first of all, the New Jersey Transit people are on strike, so it's not working. So if you live in New Jersey, to get to New York for all these sporting events, there's no way to do it. So people were renting city bikes to bridge across from New Jersey to New York, and then going all the way to the Bronx, which is where the Yankees stadium was, which is so funny.
Crazy.
So it's also madness is ensuing. But last night, let's talk about the Knicks. So, I think the Knicks were up 3-2 in their series, and they needed one more game. So it was game 6 because they lost the last game this week, which was in Boston. So they come back to New York. I don't care that much about the MNBA. I don't care about it. I'm the WNBA through and through. I also
Who cares about the M's?
Funniest TikTok where all these Knicks fans were outside,
I think I saw the same one.
And this girl took a video and was like, "I'm so happy all these MNBA fans are out celebrating Asia Wilson's shoe line because there was
I didn't see that.
There was just a giant what was it a
billboard?
A billboard of Asia's shoe line, and she's like, "That's amazing." So
that's
also hilarious,
iconic.
But so. The Knicks are in Madison Square Garden. I love seeing the celebrities that show up. And I think it's always so awkward because the celebrities get these tickets for free. So the least they can do is when Madison Square Garden puts them on Celebrity Row Jumbotron, they can wave and get excited. But all celebrities are so awkward. Jason Sudeikis was there and he just tipped his sunglasses, and Pete Davidson held up 6, whatever, haha, 6, and sat there. Bad Bunny did a little wave, but then it went to my dude, Timothy Chalamet. New York's in his blood. He got up. He was yelling at the camera. He pulled out his phone screensaver, which was a 6 in Knicks blue, which I don't know when he changed that.
Really committed to the bit.
Yelling and he's so fun to watch. I don't want to watch the Knicks. I want to watch Timothy Chalamet watching the Knicks.
Yeah.
Because he was next to Bad Bunny. I hate that they're dating the Jenners, but it doesn't matter. New York runs in Timothy Chalamet's blood. He was up. He was yelling with the players. He was giving them high fives when something happened. And I was like,
oh my God, that's who you want.
Timothy Chalamet to be this close to the line.
No. You need the people who are actually going to be committed and cheering on those front lines. Don't get these stupid celebrities who are just hey.
Oh, I've never been a bigger fan of Timothy Chalamet's. And then after the game, the streets, because the Knicks won, the streets are pandemonium, obviously.
That's what I saw.
Everyone's climbing things. I don't even know what they're climbing.
I don't understand how they get up there sometimes.
I don't understand how they're going to
do whatever you want with your joy.
Good luck jumping down. Everyone's, yelling, clogging the street, but all these celebrities then leave in cars. So, but there's nowhere for these cars to go. So
I never thought about that.
I don't know what happened to the other cars, but a normal celebrity would probably sit and wait for the people to get out of the way. Not Timothy Chalamet. He rolled down his window and he was yelling with the fans, and he was hugging them. He even almost got pulled out of the car window hugging a New York fan. His security guard had to bring him back in. It was awesome. It was awesome. And oh my God, do I love Timothy Chalamet loving the Knicks. So specifically in his Knicks era. And I'm so happy the Knicks are moving to the next stage in the playoffs or whatever. Because, oh my God, do I want Timothy Chalamet to keep celebrating.
More content from him.
This man's never going to see Kylie in LA. He's born and bred. He
forever, baby.
He cannot leave these streets. He cannot. Oh, it was so good. It's the funniest city in the world. It's so hilarious.
This was all last night.
Yeah, I have never been more grateful to not live on the island of Manhattan. That looked crazy.
Chaos.
I work like right there too. My office is a block away from Madison Square Garden.
Oh my
and
God.
I was even like, even if it wasn't Friday and if I had to go in the office, I would have told everyone, there's no way you could pay me to go that way.
Yeah.
Because Knicks fans are out at 2 p.m. Like, I don't have the capacity. They were out all night yelling. Man, these Knicks fans, I love when they're interviewed too. They're thick New York accents and they're just yelling about things. Because it's never like, I'm so excited. It's like always angry a little bit, but like they are excited. But it's just so intense. Oh, I love. It's so good. But Timothée Chalamet really is like just the best. I can't wait for the next game.
God.
Anyway, this is a Timothée Chalamet and his Knicks era Stan podcast.
At least the first 5 minutes will be.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna think about Timothée Chalamet all day. I've been thinking about him.
No, I understand. We're just gonna switch to the complete opposite of him. Some white women in Utah.
I mean, he's a white man, but so not the complete opposite.
Okay.
He's kind of dating someone who kind of looks like she could fit in with the Mormon wives.
God, no.
Dude, she's just as plastic as the rest of them.
No, I know. I mean, I guess they are the same because, like, they have their own show on Hulu.
Fit in with the Mormon wife. We look like, I don't know.
And Kylie had kids young, so you're right. All right.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
would look frumpy next to the Mormon wives. Like, who's the charity case? That would be me. But let me pull up my notes before we get into it. God, I don't even know what I took. I don't even know what I took notes on. Okay.
I don't either.
We're going to try to go chronological.
Wait, really
We're probably
quick.
Gonna fuck it up. Yeah.
We left off in season 1. I didn't watch the end, but we left off with like
Macy called
Jenna. Taylor and Dakota had their baby, and it was just like chaos a little bit.
Yes. And then a lot happened in the off season that I didn't pay attention to, and now
They had like 9 months off. The show aired in September 2024, and they started filming, I think, in October 2024. So like, boom, right back in there.
I do want to top of the hour, really quick, or top of the segment. I was scrolling TikTok. I'm on Mormon Wives TikTok now. Thank God I'm off Paige Becker's TikTok. I cannot anymore. I don't even like her anymore. I'm so done with it. Anyway. I do, but I don't. Anyway, I found a post of, do you know that creator Jordan Cray? I follow him. But
I was going to say, it's a guy, right? Yes, I know him.
He does a lot of reality TV. Let me make sure I get his name right. I don't know. His name's Jordan. Go look him up. But he posted something where he was trying to figure out how the Mormon wives like probably voted, and he was able to figure them all out. But he said he only really stands Miranda because she's the only one that voted blue. But then Layla commented and goes, actually, there was 2 of us and I'm the other. And then Miranda also commented and was like, it's me and Layla. So from the top of the segment, I think we should know that all of these women except 2 are...
I'm going to be honest. That's more than I thought. I thought all of them would have been voting red.
Miranda and Layla.
Miranda really shocks me.
I love that. Miranda just became my favorite somehow.
And
I haven't really liked Layla this season.
I haven't done a timeline on Miranda, and I would love to go do one now that I know who she is. But she was in that original like swinging crew. And if anybody's watched my Taylor Frankie Paul timeline, it's that Miranda's husband was the one who was like in love with Taylor, and the reason then like Taylor ran to that other guy and like slept with him. Or not the reason, but like that was the like chaos.
What other guy?
Ensued. There were 3 couples. There were Taylor and her husband, Miranda and Chase, and then I forget the other couple's names. But Taylor liked the other husband, not Miranda's husband.
I was gonna say they didn't explain that well in the show.
No,
because I thought it was weird that like Taylor was, because Taylor was obviously going through it, but it seemed like she was upset. Her husband was upset that some other guy had feelings for her, but she didn't reciprocate. And I was like, why would Taylor's husband care about that?
So what happened
she hooked
with that
up with someone else?
Yes, it was all messy because Chase went up to Taylor. This is all like alleged based on
the
Taylor's
gym.
side of the story. At the gym, said he had feelings for Taylor. Taylor went and told the other wife, not Miranda, and was like, oh my God, this happened to me. And then the other wife told Miranda, and Miranda was upset that Taylor didn't tell her herself.
Yeah.
And so things started like spiraling out of control just on that. And so like there were other couples involved in, I'll say, the communication of this, but not the swinging. And so they like asked a bunch of people to get together and talk it out. Taylor went, I guess she was like hammered. So then couple number 3, who's not on the show, was like stressed about Taylor, and the wife sent the husband to go pick Taylor up. Taylor spends the night at couple number 3's house and sleeps with the husband because she actually had like deeper feelings for that guy. So then like Miranda's mad because like Taylor didn't tell her about what happened with Chase, but then like there's this whole other thing going on. So it just like all was crumbling so quickly.
It did make sense why Taylor's ex-husband got upset. Like that was where I was like, I didn't.
Yeah.
But okay, that makes. Wow.
He was upset about not a Miranda thing, about other stuff.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen. God, I don't even know all these women. I need like a picture of them. I liked Miranda overall. Should we do overall thoughts of the cast?
Yeah, I actually would love to talk how I felt about majority of them.
Okay, let me pull.
I was frustrated with Miranda coming in because she and the other wife, I cannot remember their name, like that other couple's names, were so adamant about not doing the show if Taylor was on it. And so to me, Miranda coming now on season 2 is like, oh, now that this like you want money, like you're crawling back here. And I'm a big thing on like, stand on your business, like just make decisions. But if you're going to go against those, then like you got to have some like humility coming in. And I just didn't feel like Miranda had that.
Interesting.
For standing so strong on like, I would never do that show.
Interesting. I too, though, when she came in, I was like, like obviously she's coming back for the clout, for the money.
Yeah.
Like I knew. But as it went on, I was like, oh, I'm like growing to really like her. And then at the end, when she was like, I don't even know if I want to be a part of it. If these women are this crazy, I was like, no, I'm kind of with you though, girl.
I know. I guess I wanted more of her life, but I guess there's already so many people that it's kind of hard. I kind of wish she would have talked more about her and Chase, like getting divorced and like co-parenting and like her life. Cause I think she was dating someone and it just didn't feel like we got her.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't, I think her main thing was though, like being kind of a single mom, which I found like interesting. And I understand her wanting like the community of mom talk when she's a single mom, and like, she's got to hustle. She's got to make that paycheck. So that means like eating her pride and coming in. I do wish we had more with her and Chase, but like, I feel like the Chase and Taylor of it all was maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah. So if Marina stays around,
like, I don't want it. Yeah. I think she could really grow.
The Chase stuff I was thrilled with. That Halloween party, I was like, this is great. I love this.
Overall, I really liked Miranda. You're iffy on her.
If she comes back for season 3, I just need more. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it definitely got overshadowed by literally, like, we didn't even get Whitney that much this season. It was like, there's so much happening.
Oh my God, wait, let's talk about Whitney. I was kind of disappointed. I love her from a reality TV perspective.
I think her as the villain. I loved her as the villain. She's so good.
Great.
Yeah, she's so good. I felt like she was boring. I didn't hate her necessarily. But I forgot she was there a lot of the times. I did hate her when she would like argue. Like she kind of still drove me nuts. But from like a good reality TV standpoint, bad for me personally because I was losing brain cells. But
I'm thrilled she gave up the whole homesteading act, like that bullshit. I was like, all right, you feel more authentic to me. Like, I like your character that you're just kind of like delusional and you're like, I don't know why people are mad at me. It's like not that big of a deal.
She didn't take accountability, but it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know. There was some like weird.
It's in a roundabout way where like other women can't take accountability, but Whitney, like, it just like works for her for me.
Yeah, I still don't like her. I would never want to be friends with her, but she's okay on my TV screen. And 90% of the time, her watching arguments happen or having them fight about something that's not her was
Oh my God, I love.
genius. Like, I loved when she, like, was even like, I don't want them to yell at me, so I'm making them yell at each other. So
Yes,
that's not
she
me.
was like, I'm going to bring up this topic, so then, like, they don't look at me, and I was like, so smart, babe. Also, her headbands, I'm always like, why the fuck are you wearing that headband?
The worst dresser. She was the worst style on the show. Every time she'd show up in one of those puffy sleeve dresses, I'd be like,
oh my God.
What are you doing, you milkmaid? Literally stop. Literally stop. She's a nightmare to look
Dying.
at. But I also, like, at the last scene, her just holding the baby, watching them fight was so funny. And then they're like, you're in. And she just smiles. And she's like, okay. And then she just shuts the fuck up.
Glad I got in on a majority vote.
Yeah. She got what she wanted. It was enjoyable.
Also, why the fuck are we voting people in and out of this group? This is so dumb.
Also, it literally, if you just want, have them be in your TikTok. It's not that serious.
It's not that serious. It's not that serious.
Let's do Layla. I didn't like Layla this season. I like that she's like a Kamala supporter, but she was not fun. I didn't care about any of her storylines. I also thought she was kind of bitchy. Like, the things she did, I was like,
I don't like that she just takes whatever somebody else's feelings are and she's like, okay, that's how I'll feel too. I don't like people like that. Like, have an opinion, be frustrated with people, but like, have your own thought.
But then she recognizes she does that, and then she's like, I'm not going to do that, and then she just, like, doesn't speak again.
That was wild. Especially when she was like, to Taylor, like, oh, I'll stick up for you, and then just silent. I'm like, no, you have no purpose here except for, like, kind of moving the storyline. You, like, help take conversations from one person to another, and, like, but, like, do it with some pizzazz. Like, I want some drama here.
Do it with some Whitney pizzazz. Like, don't just she could be cut for me. Like, if we gotta vote someone out to bring someone in, like, cut her 100%.
Okay, and I hate her dating storyline. I'm like, I don't believe this. You guys have no chemistry. Like, I'm not interested in this. This isn't gonna work. He's religious and you're not.
That guy made a comment when they were like, I literally was like, this Cam guy sucks. Like, that was a whole thought for me. He was weird. He was so
I agree.
They also, her hair, she must not go to Jessie because her extensions were, her tracks were like,
and
it was rough.
Her bangs, I'm like, those,
terrible.
You just need an extra inch. I know.
Rough. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Jen. How are you feeling about Jen?
Okay, I want to discuss this more in depth, but like, she's the problem too. Like, that doesn't negate anything Zach does, but I'm like, girly. I don't trust you. I don't like you. You're psychotic in my mind.
I agree. I felt really bad as she was kind of going through her depression because I understand that. But did you notice that she has tells when she lies?
No.
Every time she like is kind of confronted and like caught and someone's like, it's not even like you're caught in a lie. It's like you told us one thing and you told Zach another. She touches her nose and she touches the back of her neck.
See, the thing is she just like won't tell a straight story. It's not like she's like coming up with elaborate lies. She clearly is like telling her friends things on her mind, but won't just tell her husband that she told her friends. And it just pissed me off. And like, I totally feel for her mental health. And this is what I like want to dive into is like, how do you separate the two and be like frustrated with her while understanding what she's going through? But I don't
like her. Sorry.
Yeah. It really bothered me, and I am so happy she was not on the entire season doing this.
Yeah, I think I didn't miss her for a second, honestly.
No.
Great. Let's talk about Michaela.
Okay. I love her.
I'm obsessed with her.
180 from
100%.
season 1, and that girlie realized, I mean, she was going through like chronic health issues, so like
which got
season
cut
1.
Season 1.
Yes.
Got cut.
Season 1, I think she just mentally was in a totally different place, but she also, I think, clocked how to get screen time and who she needs to be and how to be a reality TV star, and I said, babe, you are my number one on this show. I love you.
Was amazing. She showed up. She knew exactly what to do. She stuck to her guns. She wasn't going to do, we can all be like kumbaya. Because that doesn't roll for me either. I understand by hated how they'd be like, the Mormon church teaches us to forgive. We should keep
No, I hate when they pull that shit.
Fight a little. Hey, if you hate someone, hate them with your full chest.
Michaela is like
was
clocking
"Say less."
people. She's clocking people at the breakfast table. I'm like, yes, girly, give it to me.
Comments under her breath, and I was like, keep doing it. I loved it.
No, I loved her so much.
Okay, what about Macy? I also loved Macy.
Okay, I think you always need someone who rides the middle. Like, you can only have one person, and she does it so well.
No one ever gets mad at her for riding the middle. Flawlessly.
I know. Because she has an opinion, but I think she's always like, but I'm willing to forgive. And like, I believe her. It's not just like she's sweeping things under the rug or whatever. She's like, I understand the nuances. Like, I love and support you type of like ride the middle.
I would also just be her 90% of the time being like, I don't really care that much. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
I also like her storyline outside, like talking about her book and like
me too.
Her ex who passed away and like looking deeper into her family and her IVF journey. Like, I found that all so interesting.
Too. Like, I don't like that these are only 10 episodes and we have so many women to go through that it's like the stories get cut. Like, I want to know more about Macy's IVF journey because since I'm a little bit more tuned into their TikToks, like I watched whenever she announced it and like how much they have to go through. Like, they had to do IVF for their other their daughter. I just find that world fascinating. I just think, I think she's the most interesting out of the show storyline.
But I love her flawless ability to ride that middle. I was like, that is something I'll never have and wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I could have it.
Because she's not like a Sheena Shea flip-flopper.
No.
She is part of confrontations and like will have discussions, but she's
no one's mad at her.
She's Switzerland always.
Yeah, no, she's like really good at it. She's great at it. Okay, Jessie.
I don't feel much about her. I'm on her side with the Demi stuff and like that chaos, but I just don't feel like she had much going on. Like she was just there.
Yeah. I liked her as like a B story kind of character. I don't have a problem with her. I really don't. I think she's overall fine. Again, her story with like the lymph nodes, I don't think there was much, but it kind of got cut.
No, they
don't
like
see much of her children. Yeah, we don't see much of her children or like, I like seeing her business. I wish we spent more time at the hair salon. But...
Oh my God. I was thinking because they only had one hair salon moment, like true moment. Like they did a flashback, I know. But I was like, that's actually genius for a reality TV show to have like these like the hair salon especially is a perfect business to film at because they already have to be there for like 2 hours. And like you get to hit your beats in a place that already you're typically like gabbing about this stuff. Like I bet producers have to do minimal work for that type of stuff. Like we need more scenes of them gossiping and pushing the storyline at the hair salon.
I agree. I like Jessie talking about her business. She also is kind of a middle-y, like she can ride the middle okay. I don't have a problem with her, but she's not like a standout, I would say.
Agreed.
The cultural phenomenon The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is back with an all-new season now streaming on Hulu.
Where is everyone at? Mom Talk has gotten to a really hostile point. Demi is willing to kick Jessie out of the group.
I feel like I'm walking into a lion's den.
It's going to get messy, for sure. Mom Talk is turning on each other left and right.
The police are here. I can't see this going any other way but a pure bloodbath.
This is so toxic.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives now streaming on Hulu.
Okay, what about Demi?
Dude, I hate her this season.
How do I say this? I do too, but I also like don't in a weird way. Like I don't like her, but I also like to the point that I'm like, leave or stay. I don't really care.
That's what it is for me. I'm like,
I think
make a decision.
Shady.
Stop dragging this out. I think I need like fights to happen in a circle and we move on and like have some closure and on to the next fight. And it just kind of felt like the back half of the season was just a long standing like you could tell on the other girls' faces. They were just like, can we move past this? And I felt the same. I'm like, this isn't fun to watch.
I think she is fame hungry and like that's what they all are. I mean, Whitney came back, Miranda came back, Michaela figured out her storyline. Like they're all fame hungry. I just think Demi like wasn't enjoyable as the villain.
She's not as suave of like going after it or like like Whitney's delusional in her villainhood. Like and I just think I don't like people who are like no, I'm the star. It's giving like Jax Taylor, I'm the number one guy in the group. This is my show. And I'm like, babe, you don't get to decide. We get to decide. You don't get to decide.
Agreed. My thing is, though, I think she brought up good points, but like the way she just kept harping on it, or would be like, we have to make a decision. I was like, you're losing the plot. Like, you're right in what you're thinking. You're not crazy.
That's a good way to put it.
You're making it. That's why I was like, I agree with her, but she's driving me nuts.
You're so right. You lost me. Like, you had me, and she's still,
if she just shut the fuck up a little more, she fully had me. I would have been fighting for her. But I was just
if she would have done it like Michaela, where it's like, I don't like Whitney, but like, do whatever you want. And then like Michaela would just like throw little jabs out rather than like having these big, long arguments constantly about it and like with everyone.
We'll talk about it because like, it's just... Okay. And then Taylor, Frankie Paul, of course. How do you feel?
Listen, she's a star. She is literally chaos on 2 feet. I like think she's a terrible person. I'm like, not terrible person, but like,
I don't want her near my life.
But stay on my screen. Stay on my screen.
Truly, you have to be in a different time zone than me at all times. Like I can't be near you. I think
her
she's
crazy.
Insane.
Yes, it feels contagious too. I'm like, oh my God, you are radioactive. Like, holy shit.
No, she is, but she, in the weird way, she is the villain, but also the hero. It's the craziest thing.
Of her own story too.
All the bad things, truly, and she keeps saying like, oh, this is my karma. Girl, I think all the bad things that happen to you, you invite into yourself.
Self-inflicted, but you're also like healing.
You're having a seance calling the demons in. Like, it's you, girl. It's you.
Which like
and she's a terrible, not terrible, but like she's kind of I don't want her as a friend. I think she's
terrible to herself. I'm like, I'm scared for you for what you're doing to you. It's that thing where like people love drama and she's always going to make her life chaotic until she actually wants peace.
Which is, I can't have
I'm scared. No.
I need to leave the country because of her. Like, I'm scared of what she's going to do and how it'll affect me.
Agreed.
I think the biggest thing was, like, with the Demi stuff, and we can talk about it, I was like, Taylor's fucking insane. We should kick her out. She's crazy, dude. Like, she's a bad friend. She's bad for the mom talk. She
is a liability. She is a liability.
Huge. But, and then, like, even when Taylor came in, she was so bitchy, dude.
I know.
You're lucky I'm not Demi, because, listen, if I had to fight Demi or Jet or what's her name, Taylor, I would have kicked both of their asses. Like, I would have honestly, but the way Taylor's like tone came, if that was to me, I was getting heated about to like physically assault Taylor through my TV screen.
Yeah.
Like, truly, I thought it was so rude and disrespectful, but that was it. And then she's like never gonna see, I don't know. She's crazy. I don't know. It was good TV. It was great TV.
That was the craziest storyline because I remember watching it go down live and I was like, Taylor, babe, like, it's not that deep. I don't think it's that deep, but I understand, like, listen, her feelings were hurt, whatever. That's fine. But like, you can't be like, oh, let me drag you publicly and then like not want to be sorry for it. Like, you gotta apologize. And like,
that CMA thing made me so dumb. She's like, all of these girls reached out to me privately, but none of them commented within 23 hours on my post.
Alicia, when it happened, it was crazy.
Was everyone taking Taylor's side? Because I immediately was like, she needs to calm down.
It's the classic, like, there's people who are like diehard fans of one person and are like.
Also, the way Taylor did the TikTok was very like, no one reached out to me at all.
Yes, that's a thing. When it happened live, it came across, at least to just, I'm going to say my point of view is what everybody felt, because this is how I think it happened. Taylor went to the CMAs. She posted on her story about how nobody like gave her any props or like was excited for her. And then she did a whole TikTok, and then all the girls were like commenting on her thing and were like, I texted you privately. Some people like put their texts on their Instagram stories. So it did get cleared up pretty quickly of like, okay, I reached out to you privately. What are you talking about? I wasn't supporting you. But you have those like fans that are like obsessed with one side. And so I think the main other girls, not Taylor, were getting a lot of hate in their DMs, comments. But what made it crazy, Alicia, Demi was like fighting with people and dragging Taylor in other ways unrelated to just like the like they don't support me comment in comments. Like this kept living on online because Demi was like commenting everywhere, Alicia. So it's like Demi was like also adding a lot of chaos to it. And like saying
I don't
crazy
want Demi
stuff on the comments.
or Taylor near me. Demi and Taylor, stay back. Truly.
I also find it, this is not okay, but I find it so hysterical. Taylor's like, it's no big deal. Like, I apologized. I'm like, what?
Girl. First of all, for a good, I don't know, week and a half, you were like, I'm not sorry about it. That's how I felt. I was like, also, I think Taylor's also very fame hungry because it was very specifically like, I don't care that you reached out to me privately. I care that you didn't reach out publicly, which to me, like if you ever texted me about something big I was doing, that would mean more than if you commented on my photo. So that I think says a lot about the type of people we are and what we actually care about.
I don't think it's necessarily about fame, but I think her world is more online than it is in person.
Her
and
reality
she cares
is online.
Yeah, she cares way more. I think she would rather have online support than in real life. And Michaela said, like, it's the reverse for me. Like, I live in reality.
Yeah,
which isn't okay. Like, that doesn't excuse Taylor. Like, I think it's okay for Taylor to be like, hey, nobody showed me public support. Like, that kind of sucks. Like if she like sent that in the group text, I don't think that's a wrong take to have or to be frustrated about that.
Yeah,
because I agree. It does sometimes. It makes you feel like it is targeted if everybody is not.
Yes, but I think the important thing is, it was less than 24 hours. And I know these women like live on their phones, but also from what I can understand, it was over Thanksgiving, which is a time that particularly I think mothers are not so much on their phones because they're like, doing shit
you're with your family.
Kids.
Yeah.
So I understand that part. And it was like I said, one Friday night or something. And I was like, I'm not always on my phone.
A 20-hour period. It's like, chill out.
See, that's, I can understand her being like, hey, is there a reason no one like commented on my photo? It just feels weird. It feels targeted. Like, I just wanted to check in. But then to like publicly make this video and then be like, I'm not sorry about it. And then to be like,
my God,
I'm sorry I brought it to that, but that's how I was feeling. And everyone was like,
I know the like text apology. I'm like, you just want to sweep this under the rug and like move on because like, you're like apologizing just so that we can like move on from this. And like, that's crazy to me. Like, you got to stop being so reactionary and like I think this is just something
very reactionary. She needs
to really sit in those therapy sessions. And she is going to therapy. So like, good on her for working through this stuff. But like, it seems like she's got a long road because, and not no shame in that. Like, I've gone to therapy my whole life, but at some point, when are you going to realize that like your own inner voice is telling you a story that's not true and you're taking your feelings as facts and then yelling at people for that? Like, that's crazy. And then to not want to apologize. Like, I need her to see the cycle she puts herself in. She is her own villain and hero.
Like their own worst enemy is themselves.
They're causing the problem. They're getting mad at it. And then like also wanting to just be like, oh, no big deal. And it's like, whoa, you just took us on a roller coaster of emotions here by choice.
That's where I was like, all the moms except Demi are like, yeah, let's move on. I would be like, no, wait. I know it's not that deep, but I'd be like, can we sit with Taylor and say, like, do you see how this affected us?
Yeah.
Can you promise, like, you would talk to us first before whatever?
That's
I don't
the
think
thing.
I would have gone to let's kick her out, but I think I would have been like, if we're all going to do this and actually be friends, this is how, to me, friends should treat each other.
I agree, especially the first time they all saw each other in person because Taylor's text or apology was a text. I totally understood Demi being like, I got to take a beat on this. We don't just move on so quickly. I think exactly what you said, like a sit down conversation about what we need. And then like, let's move on because like Demi would never move past it. I don't think there was anything that Taylor could do.
Crazy.
That was, again, we are not in a LLC together. Like, we are just posting videos online and we're on a reality TV show. So, like, you are not the center of this show or the, like, posting on TikTok group. So you don't really have the pull.
Yeah, what is happening? What's happening?
My thing is, if you're going to call a vote, you better make sure that you have the votes. And, like, baby, you don't have them.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Okay, let's go to the beginning. Well, we already talked about
Let's just keep rolling. Yeah.
Okay. So we see Zach again. I want to hit on Zach.
Me too.
He was biggest villain from last year. He's a little less of a villain right off the bat because he cut the mullet thing he had going. He still sucks, but at least he's like not as horrible to look at.
Yeah.
He's still terrible, and
he's palatable.
His voice is terrible. It cracks me up when like I see someone and their voice is not what I expect. I get that every time with Zach. It's so squeaky compared to what I think it would be. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm not here.
I knew from the moment that man stepped on my screen, this was all going to be a bunch of bullshit that they were spinning to like repair their image. I think that they did go to therapy. I think she is annoyed and is like trying to find her voice, but like you're telling me a tall tale on like how you guys are separated and like you're working through it, and it just feels like you're like trying to tell the story that people want to hear rather than just like living what's actually happening.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that genuine. Like when I said like he's going to therapy, like I do believe he goes to therapy. But then when in situations with Jen where they then need to discuss things, he loses everything he's probably ever learned in therapy. So it's like, okay, you go to therapy, but like you learn nothing.
Well, so he'll do those things, quote unquote, when the cameras are up. He's like, okay, like I'm going to do my stuff because I know this is what people want to see. Like I know people want to see me taking accountability and saying like, you can do what you want. Like I like want to give you that space. It's hard for me to work through. It's like, yeah, but that's not who you are. You like, and then you're not even, it doesn't feel like he's even like trying to work through that. Cause I don't think somebody can change overnight. So I understand that he will probably F up on this journey. And like, he's going to get stressed out or like, he's going to react terribly again. Like it's bound to happen. You're not going to change overnight, but the switch ups were crazy. These people don't actually understand reality TV across the board. Cause Demi and what's his name had the same moment where it's like, you're mic'd up. They're going to use that shit. That is the prime time stuff they want to use when you're losing your shit and you're mic'd up.
Hey, no, though. If the camera's not on you, leave your mic on. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Vanderpump crew. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, it was crazy. That scene where she, like, okay, so first, we do the Halloween party, the Chippendales performance heard around the world.
See, I am not pissed that he was kind of seething. Like that was to be expected. I felt like he was going to be like that because, again, you cannot change overnight. Like, I understand everybody judging him for it, but I'm like, all right, at least he wasn't, like, grabbing her arm and, like, running out the door with her.
Yell at her. Yeah, I understood he was going to be seething. But then when he was talking to Jen about it, sorry, all these women.
On that, like, bench when they were outside. Yeah.
He was blaming her. To which we didn't know the story at the time. Supposedly Jen knew some of it and not all. I don't know. I don't care either way. But he kept blaming Jen for having friends like Jesse and Demi that would do this. Where I hate that. Okay, but like just be mad at Jesse and Demi then. Like you don't have to be mad at Jen for the friend she holds.
He wants her segregated from mom talk. So he will blame her for having friends around her who would do that stuff to them. And it's like, okay, yeah, they're not tied together. Again, this isn't a business. Like, we're just making videos together. It's not that serious. If you're like, hey, they don't respect our marriage, we should stop hanging out with them or stop talking to them about our marriage, I get that. But just, like, associating with them is not a crime.
It was weird. And then he's like, I won't do this in front of the cameras. And I was like, here we go.
Because you want to have your real reaction and like, you can't keep the mask on because you're freaking out. Like you don't want to be the guy that you're pretending to be on these cameras. And like, that's crazy that you like let that mask slip so quickly.
And then they're pregnant. And I was like, damn, girl.
Okay, this is probably one of my worst comments I'm going to say, but them being pregnant kind of tells me like they were not really separated. They never had like that was all just bullshit. Like
we're still sleeping together.
Yeah, like it's not like it's like Taylor and Dakota where they're just like banging left and right because they're freaking obsessed with each other and pretending and they know they're toxic. It's like these two are married. They both are on the same page.
Wait, for our listeners, I'm so sorry. That's crazy. I can't wait to talk about Dakota and Taylor. Okay, sorry. I just
But,
knew
like,
I was gonna laugh over you. Okay.
just because, like, the way Dakota and Taylor were kind of hiding it is just like they're kind of embarrassed because they're just like obsessed with each other and they hate each other.
Shouldn't be together.
Whereas again, Zach and Jen are spinning this false story, so they have to pretend that they're not married and like fine because they want this story to be like, I'm mad at him because that's what the viewers want, and like we're gonna have this whole redemption arc. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, I was like,
Also,
I don't care.
one last thing on that Chippendale's performance, Jen was loving it. If you go watch that scene, she loved it. And no shame in that, she should, but she was only mad because she found out Zach was mad. Yeah, and that pissed me off.
When she went to Jesse and she's like, your husband rubbed his tiny dick on me. I was like, they didn't really touch you though. It was just like, and then Zach was like, you guys touch my wife without consent. And I was like, oh
my God.
Yo, she could have easily said, stop. And they
nothing was happening.
Probably.
I'm all about consent. I do find it frustrating the like playing the joke. I find the joke, I can understand them being like feeling like disrespected because like
by the joke.
A tough time that they are having in their marriage is now like a joke for a TV show for all the friends. Like that's frustrating. But like they were not all up in her. I would say the actual Chippendales performer was the most on her. Yeah. So like I get it a little bit, but like it's not that deep. Same with like Demi being touched at that Halloween party. I'm like, stop. That man was like touching you like on your arm as he was passing through. There was no malicious touching. Like that is just human to human. Like, hey, what are we doing, people? Like we just want to be angry to be angry.
It's doing the thing where you're like, this is how people can't argue with me if I say I didn't give my consent, you know? And it's like, no one really touched you. And if you had seriously sat there and like started crying and been like, I don't want this, they probably would have stopped and been like,
that's the thing. Like Jen liked it. Jen wanted it.
She was a part of the bit. She loved it. Even if she didn't love it, she's in front of all these people. What else is she going to do? Sit there like a sack of potatoes? No, she's gonna be, yeah, we're doing it.
Yes. And then to find out she knew about it, I'm like, that's girly.
Crazy. She's such a liar, dude. She's such a fucking liar. I can't.
She's so two-faced. And like, listen, this is the only thing I'm going to defend Zach on is like to watch your wife shit talk you so much to her friends. And then her friends be like, hey, no, this is just, we have an impression based on what your wife is telling us. And for Jen to like be like, no, I didn't is crazy. Like I would be pissed if I were Zach being like, stop shit talking me. Like, I understand.
It's warranted, but like then don't get married to me.
That's the thing is like there's a little bit of respect in a partnership that like she is going above and beyond to shit talk that man.
No, truly. And we finally got clarification they are not related to Ben Affleck.
I can't decide who came up with that lie. If Jen has just been spinning that lie for years or if his family did say something. I kind of think his family was joking.
I think his family probably was joking. Like, you know, when you meet like someone's family for the first time, they're going to like kind of mess with you. I've done it before with people in our family. I fucking told my high school boyfriend, I was like, since we're Guatemalan, you know, we all sing Shakira songs at our barbecues. Yeah. And he was like, fuck, really? And I was like, you better start learning. So it's just like joke, funny, whatever. So I bet someone like the grandpa was like, yeah, we're related to Ben Affleck. And Jen was like, oh, crazy. And everyone was like, haha, funny. But she then probably was like so proud of it. And Zach was like, no, we're not. And she's like, your grandpa said you are. And I'm sure that she just like fucking ran with it.
Yeah.
And he's like, stop, Ben Affleck's gonna sue us.
He's like, please stop, because like you're now telling the entire world this. This isn't just like telling people.
Tell your friends. Yeah.
Yep. Like it was in her bio with Hulu on that first season. Like that's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's crazy. The minute I got any kind of fame, that needs to come out of the bio, you know, because like it can't. God. It's gonna cause too much attention. Okay, can we talk about the Dakota of it all? God, do I hate this one.
Okay, but this storyline is gold. It's gold though. Like it is the perfect amount of chaos, entertaining, like
the best part is no one's rooting for this.
No.
But you're like, I need to keep going for my entertainment. Like don't actually get back together. But like if y'all want to fuck around.
if
Go
you
for
guys
it.
actually set boundaries and have a good co-parenting relationship and stop hooking up, like,
so
what are we going to
bored.
talk about?
I'm so bored. No, he at the beginning of the season, I mean, him and Taylor fucked throughout the whole season. Let's just fucking say it.
The way they tried to pretend they didn't, and then they outed themselves is so funny.
Wait, which part? What am I missing?
They at one point they like said that they stopped sleeping together, and then in both of their interviews they were like, both of them were like, we never stopped.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Terrible. So Dakota wants to be together, but they're not, because he hooked up with this girl Jenna. That's the girl Macy called at the end of season 1. We see Jenna on this season. She gives Taylor
that
her
was
text.
amazing.
Good for Jenna. I'm a Jenna stan. That was awesome for her to be like, I'll show you the text.
You can have the whole thing. And then Taylor gets to ask questions. She's like, on August 3rd, you're talking about hanging out. Did you guys actually see each other that night? And she's like comparing it to her own text.
Yeah.
I was like, my God.
My only question was, Jenna would really awkwardly answer those questions, because she was like Taylor was like, did you sleep together on August 3rd or whatever? And Jenna was like, I feel like we just made out.
Oh my God.
Or did like hand stuff. And I'm like, but how do you not know? I'd be like, look, I don't know the exact day, but I slept with him or I didn't. You know, it always felt like she's like, I can't remember. I'm like, what are you drunk?
Okay, but that's where Taylor is this happened over a year ago. I think 2 years prior. So, like, it was kind of crazy that Taylor was like, on August 3rd, did you have sex with him or did you just give him a hand job? And it's like, does it matter? Like,
at 2 p.m. on August 5th, he said he had a doctor's appointment. Where was he? And she's like, I don't. Check the text.
Jenna's like, can we also not put my entire sex life on this? I'm not actually on this TV show. Like, I'm happy to have these discussions about the overall timeline. But I was like, Taylor, it doesn't make a difference if they like how far they went on that exact date. Yeah. Like, I know it's hurtful if he slept with her one night and then to you the next, but in general, you just need to know, like, were they sleeping together? What was the general vibe? Like, we don't need to get in the minute details, especially for
and
this poor girl.
She's like, were you on the couch or were you in the bed? And
I was
bro, it doesn't matter if he fucked her on the counter. Like, it's either way.
This is how toxic Taylor and Dakota are, because it's like, he said it was on the couch, but it was in the bed. It's like, okay, he just lied in general. That should be the, like, line. It shouldn't be like, but add this lie into it. Taylor wants an entire receipt of everything he lied to her about, so she can throw it in his face every time they argue. She can literally list every incident out. And it's like, okay, let's not. I mean, please do, because I'm entertained, but
that was crazy for Jenna. Jenna, you truly are a star, girl. I hope
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Taylor's insane, dude. So then now Taylor knows Dakota lied. They're not going to get back together, but they're going to keep sleeping together. But then I got to shit talk Taylor's family. Fuck these people. Fuck these people. Fuck all of them. Except the sister, maybe. But even her sometimes. They're just as crazy as Taylor. I see where Taylor gets it. These people should literally be embarrassed. They should,
especially when she started crying and was clearly so upset, and they kept going after her.
So they have a barbecue, and Taylor's parents are like, we also invited Dakota. And Taylor, you can tell, is kind of like, whatever, because she's sleeping with him still.
I like that her family maintains contact with him. I think it's not too, because like it seems like the mom babysits a lot, so like she's helping kind of bounce the baby back and forth between them. I think it's great if you can have a good co-parenting relationship, but they're not at the place where we should be doing this.
No, I respect if the family keeps in contact for the sake of the kid, whatever. This is not for, I knew immediately when the family was like, we invited Dakota to the barbecue. I was like, but why does he need to be, it's great if you keep in contact and like, hey, I'm taking Ever here. Like, what time do you want to pick him up? You're having a family barbecue and it's like the whole family's here and Dakota. And
this is the thing. It's not like it's like Christmas.
You know, they're not on good terms.
Yeah. It's not like some insane thing where he's going to be alone by himself and he doesn't get to spend Christmas or Thanksgiving with his son. It's a Friday barbecue. Like, what are we doing? And it feels like they want Taylor to like be waterboarded with that she's the problem, as if that's going to solve it. And she's going to wake up and be like, oh my God, you're right. I'll stop doing all this crazy stuff.
But then it got worse because they were like, okay, Dakota's coming, and Taylor's like, whatever. So he shows up and they all sit down, right? And the best part was in last season, they fucking hated Dakota. And now they're like,
yes,
thank God Dakota's here because Taylor, you suck. And when the dad said you were sleeping with him on the third date, what does that say about you? I was fuming. My dad would probably slit his own throat before he would talk that way to his daughter. I was like,
excuse me?
Holy shit. Fuck you, sir. I was
gagged because it's not like they were like, listen, you guys weren't in a relationship, so like the lines are blurry. I understand that he like hurt you, but it's not the same as like traditional cheating. It's not like they're like finding the nuance in the like chaos of their relationship. No. He's like, you're a bad person because you were sleeping with this man. Yeah. Like everything that has happened to you, you deserve because you were sleeping with him by date 3.
That was crazy. And then for Dakota to then be like, that's what I've been telling her.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and then
this is why she gets pissed at you. Like, Taylor, like, you just dog on her for anything. They each want a rap sheet of, like, why the other person is, like, more in the wrong. And it's like, I'm sorry, but sleeping with you on date 3 isn't a thing to put on the list because you were also doing that. What?
And then for her brother to be like, Taylor, can't you see where Dakota's coming from? And I was like, she is sobbing at this fucking barbecue over her ribs. Can you stop yelling at her?
Also, they're like, child's there. And they're like, the sister's like, oh, let me maybe take the child away. I'm like,
they're like, your mom's a whore. And this kid's like, But then the sister finally comes back and was like, look, I think you both should not speak to the other. And I was like, thank you. Taylor has one defender out in this world, and it's her sister who's basically like, I hate both of you. Shut the fuck up.
Her sister's like, listen, I'm not going to coddle you. I like that the sister's like, I'm not going to coddle you and just be like, Dakota's the problem, because he's not the only problem. But also, we don't need to berate this woman for like minute things that have nothing to do with the greater problems we have.
The cultural phenomenon The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is back with an all-new season now streaming on Hulu.
Where is everyone at?
Mom talk has gotten to a really hostile point. Demi's willing to kick Jesse out of the group.
I feel like I'm walking into a lion's den.
It's gonna get messy, for sure.
Mom talk is turning on each other left and right.
The police are here. I can't see this going any other way but a pure bloodbath.
This is so toxic.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives now streaming on Hulu.
Okay, so then this goes with this. So I was on TikTok this morning.
Mm-hmm.
This family has been getting hate, which they fucking deserve. Absolutely not. The fact that there's a camera in front of you too, and you're like, let me just keep it going.
Taylor like defended them. I'm like, babes, no.
Yeah. Okay, so this creator told the like story of what happened, and then someone commented on the dad's Instagram, as I'm sure he's getting flooded. But someone said, quote, you and your wife should truly be ashamed of how you spoke to your daughter on national television. It was cruel, misogynistic, and abusive. It made me physically sick. I actually had to pause the show and excuse myself to dry heave over the sink. That's a little dramatic, but absolutely unbelievable. I was physically upset.
I was like, this so upset because Taylor has talked about her trauma, her underlying trauma of like not feeling like chosen or wanted, and this is how your family treats you. Like that doesn't make it easier. Like that only doubles down on those type of thoughts. Like you're not even on my side, and you're my family.
Yeah, and it was incredibly cruel and misogynistic. That was crazy. To not look at Dakota and be like, you and not
just because they're like Mormon and conservative, like, and that doesn't excuse that type of behavior. But I understand that, like, hey, you shouldn't have been sleeping with this man. Like, this is our beliefs. Like, you should have been whatever. Like, you could get me with some of those conversations.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, but like on both sides, you just shouldn't have been having sex with each other. No, it's only attacked at her. It's crazy way. Misogyny. I would drop kick my dad to the moon if he did this to me.
It wasn't even when my parents had the sex talk with me back in the day, they were also very like, look, how it just goes though is like the woman's the one that's probably going to get hurt if there's casual sex. So like beware of that. And I know if I had ever gotten in a situation similar to this, they would have been like, it was your decision to sleep with him before you were married. So
I agree.
That's
like
where we are.
They would
right?
put ownership on my own decisions. They would align those with me.
But never would my parents look at me and be like, what does that say about you? That's crazy.
That's the thing is they're attacking her self-worth, which is not involved in this problem. She
crazy.
already is struggling with that too. And you are like, you know what? Let me kick you while you're down and already hate yourself. Let me tell you why you suck even more.
So then the dad responded and said, oh,
No.
you poor thing. Good thing is nobody gives a shit what you think. So I'll continue having these adult conversations with my grown-ass kids while spelled WHY apostrophe LL while you continue to sit at the kiddie table. So first of all, this man's illiterate. Second of all,
also, like, why are you talking down to me as if I'm a child?
This isn't a grown-ass conversation. This is you degrading your daughter. And sure, I'm an adult, my dad's an adult, but at the end of the day, I am still his daughter. And like, and he is my father. So like, there's a level of mutual respect in those positions.
But you don't get to tear me down just because you're my dad. And that's not an adult conversation. And you don't get to call me, like me, the poster, a child because I'm like, I don't like how you spoke to your daughter. I hate when people put people down for just speaking on something. Like, I'm not a child because I disagree with you.
Well, it's adult for no one to come at someone else's self-worth when they're clearly upset, right? Like, clearly this woman was crying, freaking out, having literally an emotional breakdown, and you have 4 grown-ass adults yelling at her about her self-worth, and they don't stop. No one comes and is like,
that's what it is. They're all ganging up on her. She's clearly in distress. Like, you had to take the goddamn baby away because, like, she was clearly in distress. I'm sure the baby felt that. Like, what are we doing? I understand, like, wanting to give your kids feedback and being like, hey, I don't agree with you sleeping with that man, whatever. But, like, you don't have to keep berating her. Like, and every person did it.
Yeah, this was crazy. You don't love her. And then, Taylor did come out and said, I know this is a harsh scene. Believe me when I saw my family, or believe me when I say my family is my biggest support system. There was a lot going on and emotions were heightened. They have held me at my lowest every time. Hard moment for all of us. I love them. We all cried watching. I promise they are the ones always here for me. And I was like, no, you should call your friend. You should be nicer to Mom Talk because those girls are way nicer to you than your own fucking parents.
Agreed. Like, just because your parents see you through bad moments doesn't mean they're good to you.
No, that was crazy. And then, I don't know, Dakota frustrated me continuously throughout the season. I think he's just like Taylor. These two, like, cannot see eye to eye. It was crazy at the Halloween party, too, when Chase is like, she's a liar. And Dakota's like, yeah, agree. And Taylor's like, the fuck, dude?
That was crazy. Their egos. But then, like, she starts screaming at him about everything. And I'm like, okay, be mad at him for not defending you and being on your side. Like, that's the topic at hand. Their egos are so tied into it. All they want to do is like be like, you're the one who's the most in the wrong. And it's like, you guys are both in the wrong. You both suck. Stop doing this. Like, especially because, like, you have a kid together. Like, I do think that they could be okay co-parents, but, like, it's going to take years and, like, putting down their weapons and, like, wanting to stop fighting. They have to want peace. I don't think they want peace. They love the trauma cycle of arguing.
Yeah. So that was rough. This whole season with these two are rough. I like that at the end Taylor was like, we're not in a relationship.
But I'm like, but are you sleeping together? This now, having watched their, like, TikToks and all this stuff, like, they went to Disneyland with her kids, and I think their son went too. Which, like, I don't have a problem him, like, being around and them doing family stuff together. I think that's really great if you can do that. But I question, have they been sleeping together? Yeah, the entire time.
Rough. It was so fun to watch, but it was It made me angry at times, and that family was one of the moments that I was like,
know.
I won't recover from this.
I just don't feel it's gonna get better, and that's what kind of scares me. Like, I get to enjoy this, like, fight for this season, but, like, is this gonna keep happening? Like, I don't want that for her real life.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. I really quick want to talk about, this is really quick. We saw some ketamine therapy. That was fun.
My Jesus Christ. Why are they so obsessed with ketamine therapy?
Whitney and I did ketamine. Also, just another like background thing I took a note on. So, so Taylor's family started praying after they yelled at her terribly. And then I had to laugh because a really intense cover of a version of Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake started playing in the background. And if you go watch the scene, it's like after a scene that made the entire audience like so angry. And then the family's like, okay, let's pray. And it's like, Cry Me a River.
Stop.
And I was like,
they're just like dragging Taylor on every level they can.
It was absolutely sent to the moon. Can we hit on a little bit? Macy's writing the book. I think it was lovely when she went to her ex's family's house.
Yeah.
With Hudson and then went to the crash site.
Yes. All I have to tell people is if you don't know her story, not to plug ourselves, but please go watch my timeline because this book is based off of a blog she had. I think she's since taken it down because she's writing the book. But her life is crazy what happened. Like, they didn't even really get into everything with the baby daddy. Like, it was crazy what was going on.
Yeah, that's the timeline of the Mormon wives I remember the most because I was shook.
I know. I think that one was 3 parts, and they're each 5 minutes long.
I ate it all up. I even remember that better than the Frankie Taylor Paul. Taylor Frankie Paul, whatever her fucking name is. No, Macy's was like so good.
I like that we're getting, because so much had to be cut from season 1. I'm glad they kind of seem like they're going back and talking about some of the things that are going on in their lives. And so like, this is a huge part. I love seeing Eric's parents. I have always wondered if Macy was like, how in contact she was with them. Like, I always just assumed like her son was in their life, but it's nice to see she has a relationship with the parents. That's probably so healing. Like, I loved it. And seeing Michaela like support her, I believe in their friendship the most. I love it.
They're my favorite. Yeah. They were my favorite. And Macy even got to meet Joey Fatone at the pickleball tournament. That was this man pops up everywhere. Joey Fatone's fucking everywhere.
Oh my God. That pickleball tournament, I was cracking up that they did a girls trip with that.
It was so dumb. I also was cracking up when they did the Mormon Bake Off.
I loved that. This is where I'm like, Whitney's so funny to me. Like, she has such good quirky ideas, just being like, let's do this.
I loved her like every time she kept putting things into like the group chat and no one would respond, and she's like, hey, let's do a Mormon Bake Off. And she texted Miranda separately and was like, can you respond about my Mormon Bake Off, please?
You're so right.
And then they all had to do it, and I found it so funny. Michaela, like, I just want to beat Whitney. I was like, that's awesome. The husbands all had to vote. I don't think they should have. Here's my only qualm with that. They should have done it anonymously. They should have been
agreed.
Like, this is my sourdough and my name's Whitney. It should have been like, and this is a sourdough. What do you think? So then you don't know. That's a thing. Would still probably know, but shut your mouth.
I know.
Anonymously.
But I understand presentation being a part of it, but I don't think it really should have. It should have just been off taste. So you like saw all of them. You know what you've got. You shouldn't see people like really walk in with them. Like the husbands wouldn't really track that. But that sister, Layla's sister, could have just gotten everybody a bite on a plate and just handed it to him and said, what do you think of this? No discussion on like why you did what you did. Here's a pumpkin pie. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think that would have been better. Can we talk about we kind of already hit it, but I guess like, okay, the Demi and the Taylor of it all. The girls go to New Orleans without Taylor. This was because
after we had the text apology, the Saints and Sinners party, where they kind of discussed it, but not really like we said they should.
Sinners. And that's when Taylor brought up that then Demi trashed Jesse's hair business.
I was like, you guys all like keep things in your back pockets.
That wasn't even clear.
No,
right?
I was like,
Demi was like, I didn't say that. And I was like, okay, so what'd you say? And we still kind of don't know.
I don't understand what happened because I just think it's crazy that they all keep this stuff in their back pockets.
That happens,
to be like, oh, you're mad at me? Well, you did this 4 months ago. And it's like, this has nothing to do with the other.
So we go to Saints and Sinners. We find out when Taylor and Demi are fighting, Taylor's like, well, you're a bad friend, not only to me, but to Jessie because you talk shit on her hair. And then Jessie's like, well, now I'm hurt. But then Taylor's like, Jessie, let me talk to you separately. And this was where no one really stood up with Taylor, which I also would have been like, can we just go back to the fucking party, honestly?
Oh my God.
Taylor was more mad that no one had her back. And I was like, besides Layla, no one knew what was happening, you know, like,
well,
like,
I think everybody else was like riding the middle where they're like, hey, Taylor fucked up, but I don't really care to hold this grudge. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. Taylor's the star power of a lot of this stuff. So like, I think everybody's willing to overlook Taylor being mad to just maintain this like TikTok group. And I understand that. You're like, whatever. I just don't really trust her. We're not that deep of friends. Let's make stupid videos together.
Actually, really quick, what were your thoughts on Layla showing Taylor the group chat? The separate group chat.
I thought that was diabolical.
No, first of all, Layla is one of my least favorites because of that. Because if I'm in that group chat, you're not my real friend.
That's the thing. Not. I would question every text I send with or around Layla forever. I think it is crazy to show. I understand if Layla was like, hey, I just want to let you know we had a different group text and we were talking about it and we're pretty frustrated. Like, so then Taylor has the knowledge of where people are sitting.
Demi is very frustrated. She'll probably say something to you tonight.
Yes. Like, here's the sentiments that are being talked about behind your back. Like, I don't mind when people are like, hey, this is what is being said about you. But to give her your phone, and especially Layla being like, I don't think I said anything that bad. That's why you're willing to show her. Because you didn't let it rip like other people did. People thought they were in a safe space.
Yeah, that's crazy. But also going back even, sorry, I forgot to mention this. Layla saying, let's play the pregnancy game. Was
that was after all of this stuff, but that's in New Orleans. Yeah, that was in New Orleans. Oh my God.
How much Layla sucks really quick. Knowing that Demi has been trying to get pregnant and is having fertility issues.
That's so rude. That's so rude because you don't know if your friends are pregnant or not. So then to like fuck with Demi like that, no one deserves that. I don't care what Demi has done at all this season. I don't care what anybody. I find those games so weird unless you're willing to announce a pregnancy and that's how you want to do it.
Listen, if it was like Macy, who's like, I'm pregnant. I think I'm the only one in the group.
I still think it's weird.
This is how I'm going to tell my friends, whatever. Fine, great, whatever. But for Layla, Layla was like, I'm late. Let's just take a pregnancy test. I was like, so you don't even know? And then we're doing this anonymously. So then there's going to be a pregnancy test that's positive and no one knows who it is. Which that's crazy. And then there were two and you saw Demi get her hopes up. And I was like,
because she was the one that read it too. It's that she also was the one who read a positive one and all she sees is negatives. So her reading a positive means so much to her. And she doesn't even know if it's her because it's anonymous. Yeah. So now you have to have her go take a pregnancy test and just destroy herself. Yeah. And you're outing people's pregnancies. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, Layla is a terrible human. Maybe.
I've always thought that those were weird when, like, friend groups did that, but, like, to each her own. But, yeah, to know what Demi was going through, that would crush me. Like, her uncontrollable sobs, like...
I got it. I understood.
Oh, my God.
And then you took the joy out of Michaela and Macy's pregnancies because now there's someone who is so upset, rightfully so, and Michaela and Macy can't even be like, it was me, because
that hurt. Like, you saying you're pregnant, just, it twists the knife in Demi's back right now. You're taking away the way they planned on saying it, and now they said it perfectly. Like, it's not joyous to announce my pregnancy. It's a sad thing now.
And I'll give it to Demi. When Michaela and Macy, like, went to her, and she's like, I'm sorry that I took away the joy.
I know, but that like doubles.
I was like, oh man, Layla should apologize for thinking of this for making everyone do this stupid game after everyone said, I don't think we should do this. She's like, no, it'll be fine. No,
because Demi shouldn't have to feel guilty for like being upset, but like, of course, then you feel bad. Like your friends have something exciting and you feel like you're the negative Nancy, and it's like, I just never would have done this. This never should have happened.
Layla's a bad friend. Layla's a bad friend. So, okay, so she shows Taylor the group chat. Taylor goes in guns a-blazing to Saints and Sinners. Her and Demi fight. She then takes Jessie to the side and is like, you know, your best friend was shit-talking your hair. To which Jessie is then, like, upset, but she's kind of like, I don't really want to get into it without knowing Demi's side, because I think Jessie's like, everyone's fucking crazy, right? So then that's when, they go to New Orleans, and then
They're walking
Demi
the
is
French
like,
Quarter.
Demi is like, oh, I've Taylor's and Mom Talk. I can't be in it, which was crazy. I think she had great points of like, this woman's a liability.
No, I agree with her on what she was saying, but you can't cap it with it's her or me, because
you're putting everyone in the tough position then. No one likes an ultimatum. Even if you're right, don't tell me what to do.
That's the thing. The minute, if somebody gives me an ultimatum, I'm already 50% pissed at them. So it's kind of not going to go your way, because like you just put me in a bad spot to pick. Yeah. And now I need to basically rank you against somebody else to be like, who's better for me? No, that's crazy to make your friends do that.
Wait, oh my God, I keep thinking we kept forgetting about things. Because then there was also the thing about Demi wanting Jesse out of Mom Talk show.
Oh my God. Okay.
She would get more money.
Craziest kind of like fourth wall thing that I love about reality TV nowadays. We'll talk about this stuff. I love them acknowledging the show, and that I hate that they always call it Mom Talk, because I'm like, you're just trying to talk about the show. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That is wild that she was like, I deserve more money. I deserve the biggest paycheck, and I will do it at the expense of my closest person. It's not like she was like, oh, don't bring Miranda on, I want more money, or kick Jen off, she doesn't really even want to be a part of this. Your closest friend? Crazy. I would never trust you, Alicia, if you did that to me.
No, that's crazy.
They moved on way too quickly after that, Jesse and Demi.
I agree, because that's shady. Because, okay, yes, at the end of the day, you're making money off of Mom Talk, you're making money out of the show, but like, we're not in a business. Like, this isn't cutthroat business. This is like, we're fucking friends first, dude, before we're in a business together. Like, what the fuck?
Also, you can't support a show on your own. So unless you can, who are you to be like, this person shouldn't be here? This is an ensemble cast. We need
Jesse
all
has
of
a
us.
Business, and she's a multimillionaire.
That
or whatever.
pissed me off. Just because I have money and other incomes, like if Jesse was fighting for more money and it was at the expense of your paycheck, I understand them being like, you have a bigger business. Yeah. Like, I need that. This is my main source of income. But it didn't seem like Jesse was trying to undercut anybody. It's just, she was also getting paid, and you're mad. She has multiple streams of income and has a business. Like, why is she being punished for being successful?
No, that was crazy. Sorry, we totally forgot.
No, that was such a, oh my God. That's the thing. I think that offense, the like trying to get her off the show, is worse than this like hair thing, because it's like, hey, you're just kind of telling somebody not to frequent their business maybe. And it seemed like this was from years ago, before they all really were friends, because Jesse actually was not a part of this group before the show started. They brought Jesse in, and people became friends afterwards. So I understand Demi being like, hey, maybe didn't love the hair at the beginning. I would recommend going to someone else. And Taylor doesn't go to Jay-Z Styles still. Like, she has never been one to go there and get her hair done. So like, who cares from 2 years ago when we barely knew this person if she was like, go find someone else?
Yeah, that's crazy that Jesse was more mad about that than she was about like her trying to get kicked out of the show. That was crazy.
The cultural phenomenon The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is back with an all-new season now streaming on Hulu.
Where is everyone at? Mom Talk has gotten to a really hostile point. Demi is willing to kick Jesse out of the group.
I feel like I'm walking into a lion's den.
It's gonna get messy, for sure.
Mom Talk is turning on each other left and right.
The police are here. I can't see this going any other way but a pure bloodbath.
This is so toxic.
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives now streaming on Hulu.
So then we get back from New Orleans. Demi is throwing a holiday party. Mm-hmm. Taylor is not invited, to which Layla tells her, I think you were accidentally texted.
Oh my God. I was dying. Taylor's like, can't wait for the party. Layla's like, you shouldn't come. That was an accident.
I think for once, Layla was like, just don't come, dude. It's probably better. Plus, if I was Taylor, why would I want to go? I don't know.
See, I would want it to kick off. I'm like, your mistake. I'm coming.
But Taylor doesn't go, but her mom does.
No, that was crazy. This
her mom's
family
nuts. Her mom's nuts, dude.
Why is her family so obsessed with like being on this show? It's the same as like Lexi Wood over on Summer House, and then Monica on Salt Lake City.
Frame.
Yeah, I'm like, what is with these parents needing to be so invested in their kids' television careers? Like, get off my screen, you weirdo.
Well, this is I mean, her mom remember last year was like, hey, Whitney, why are you at the baby shower? I was like, don't get involved. My mom from when I was just a little child was like, I'm not getting involved in my child's drama.
Yeah,
let's not. So the mom shows up and she has to talk. Well, first it's awkward because everyone's like, "The fuck are you doing here?" And Demi, I think, handled it kind of well because she's like, "Should we go chat? Like, what do you want?"
Having a sit down with your kind of friend's mom over the fight you're having,
crazy.
I would never sit down with this woman.
They fight. I was kind of team neither. I was like, well, at first I was very much team Demi because I was like, Taylor's mom is like really kind of fucking overstepping, I think. But then Demi started like yelling at her and I was like,
oh my God. Demi she makes points that aren't necessary. Like, I agree with the other women where it's like, this is someone's mom. Like, let's not. Yeah. Like, I know her mom is involving herself in the drama, but we also don't need to like drag her as well. Like, it isn't about the mom. Like, it's about Taylor.
Her mom's fucking insane, for sure. And if your mom was like, hey, I'm calling about Meredith, I would be like, listen.
You're not involved in this.
I appreciate you standing up for your daughter. I understand that. I just don't think this is appropriate, honestly. I don't think this is appropriate.
That's the thing. I wouldn't engage in a fight with your mom. I would sit down with her. I would let her say something to me, but I would be like, I agree. Like, this isn't appropriate. This isn't a fight between you and me. I totally respect that you have your daughter's back, whatever. I'm not gonna.
But the issue I have with your daughter is a separate issue that unfortunately doesn't involve you. It doesn't involve these women. I am feeling Taylor's not a good friend to me. I am feeling that we have a lot to work out. I'm unsure if like our relationship is healthy, and I feel like Taylor might think the same way. And with that, it really just needs to be a conversation amongst the two of us.
Yep.
Point blank, period. But then the mom is like crying and she's like, Taylor's going through a lot. And I was like, that's also not an excuse to be.
That's the
thing. What are you doing here? Stop crying at this Christmas party.
Her mom wasn't helping her case. I'm like, because Demi is right. It's like, your daughter is constantly going through things and we are constantly checking up on her and she does not check in on us. And I was like, Demi, you're right. Like, you deserve to have mutual friendships, but stop arguing this with the mom.
With this mother who's also incredibly unstable as a person.
That's so true.
And then she opens up Taylor's gift, which was like,
what the fuck was with that gift?
Taylor's kind of a bitch.
It wasn't even funny. Taylor was like cracking up in her little interview chair. I'm like, that was not a win. You didn't get her.
Sent Jay-Z hair stuff.
I would have rather an empty box. Like, fuck you. You think I'm getting you a gift? That would have been funny. A Jay-Z PR box that she actually had to pay for? What are we doing?
That's funny. That's funny that she had to fucking pay for it.
It's weird.
She's spending money on Demi for the joke.
I don't think that's funny. I think if she had gotten like stole something from the CMAs and gifted that to her, like, that's funny because that was the original argument.
It's funny against Taylor, the fact that she bought this thing and then like gifted it to Demi. I'm like, you spent $200 on this woman. Now she gets free hair care product and you supported your other friend. It's weird.
Yeah.
No. So then, we cut. It's so crazy because then Layla is like, you know what I have to do? I have to go meet with this guy from Vanderpump Villa to now get to the bottom.
Why is this a part of this?
Demi's now a liar.
God.
Now we're all against Demi. Oh, what?
Because I want to talk about this, and then we also, after this topic, need to touch on the bread rumor too. But like, keep going with Vanderpump Villa.
Bread rumor. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Layla, after then, Demi and Taylor have their like mirror mom talk, and Demi storms off. Layla's like, Demi is hiding stuff, and I was like, where did you get this? So she reaches out to this guy from Vanderpump Villa that the cast knows, that supposedly some people are saying he hooked up with Demi, some people are saying that they didn't hook up. Demi swears, and Jen is the one that's like, something did happen with this guy.
And then in present day, when they were doing their like prep for like Vanderpump Villa to launch, it comes out like he says that, I think is his name Marciano?
I think so.
whatever, Vanderpump Villa guy, is online saying that, like, he wasn't allowed to go to the party because, like, Demi got him, like, blacklisted from it. Demi goes online and says he touched her inappropriately. So it's, like, even blown up into even more than was discussed on this show. But I'm like, why is this man on this show? Why is this a thing?
Why did Layla call him? Like, again, you're being a bad friend, honestly.
You don't know this. She acts like they're, like, friends. And she's like, I got to get the story from, like, this other guy. As if this, like, happened in their own circle in Utah. Hulu flew you out to be on a show, and this kind of sidebar happened. And now you're, like, pulling it into your show. This is weird.
So basically, though, this Vanderpump Villa guy was like, nothing ever happened with Demi. And he basically clears her name. He's like, yeah, I fell in love with her real quick. I tried to do stuff.
It was like one-sided. Yes. Yeah, which then like makes me confused about the real, like, present day stuff. I'm like, what's the beef going on here?
Layla almost was like, I don't know if I believe him. And I was like, what the fuck? You psycho. But then Marciano or whatever was like, oh, but there is a different rumor.
I was like, Jackie. What? Why? What's going on?
Made out in Sir or Tom Tom, to which, but apparently it wasn't. The rumor was they made out publicly in Sir or Tom Tom, which Jesse earlier in the season had been like, why would I fucking cheat in public? Which that made sense.
Agreed.
But then this Marciano guy is like, we've been hooking up. It's not just a one night stand. And I was like,
this seems crazy. Okay, when people say people cheated publicly, I'm like, don't tell me, show me. If you have no proof, I don't fucking believe you.
Yeah. Everyone has camera. I see Jesse, immediately cameras up. I don't care. Right?
If I'm seeing cast members of shows I watch, even shows I don't watch, making out,
send it to you. If anything, I'm like, look.
I'm like, I am breaking news, gonna be famous because I'm the one who sees this. I'm telling everyone.
Paul Perez Hilton, here I come. Yeah, the fuck?
Like, you can tell me stories about things that are happening behind closed doors, and I'll listen to you, and let's discuss the details, and, like, could it be true, and, like, what are the defining details? But publicly, I don't trust anybody who says something happened publicly. It's kind of like that Kyle Cook rumor that he made out with somebody at one of those, like, Leva's bars. I'm like, there would have been video. Like, I don't get why people, like, spin those type of rumors.
Yeah, it was weird. But then, yeah, now he's saying, like, that they're, like, in a full-blown affair. And Layla's like, man, what am I going to do with this? And I was like, don't do anything.
I would go tell Jesse this man is saying it about her. But Layla's a bad friend and we know it.
She's going to go tell Jen that Jen was right? Like, some crazy shit like that.
I don't believe for one goddamn second anything Jen says, because Jen is like a flip-flopper on all things. And also she is, and this is not a bad thing, but more of a prude. So I think she would, like, read into things like things were happening when they weren't.
Well, when she was saying shit about Demi, people were like, did Demi cheat? And she's like, Demi was talking to this guy a lot. And I was like, okay. Whoa, damn.
Whoa.
You got her. No, but, like, the worst part about Layla is, like, when Marciano said nothing happened with Demi, she was like, wow, that's so surprising. And then when he said something did happen with Jesse, she's like, I don't know if I can trust this guy. And I was like, you called him for the church.
You chose this. You don't believe him when he says something didn't happen. You don't believe him when he says something did happen. Like, what? Just let's chalk it up to he's a liar then. Like, be consistent.
Okay, so then we have to talk about the Brett rumor.
Okay, so Macy's fucking, like, Sinner Sunday is the biggest. I love it for the show, but, like, she holds on to that shit for months and is like, listen to this little rumor I heard from my Instagram submission box. It's like, darling. But I didn't really believe it. I think it's something dumb that was submitted until Brett and Demi were talking about it. It was Brett cheated on Demi when Demi was away. And apparently, like, Brett and Demi are never apart. But the only time I think they were apart was when she was in Italy for that
Vanderpump
Vanderpump Villa thing. So it's like, okay, you're telling me details that are factual, things that did happen. Could this be true? So Demi and Brett go to some random shop and they're like talking about it. And I mean, I would do this too if I was on a show where you're like, United Front, like clearly, like, you have beats to hit. You're going to have this conversation. It was the appropriate amount of like planned, like, we don't believe this, like, until there's something to make me believe this, I don't believe this. Like, give me some facts, give me some proof, or like whatever. And I was like, I agree with you, Demi. Like, I'm not going to berate my husband over some random submission box. But when they walk out and are mic'd up and she's yelling at him, I'm like, you guys have no trust in this relationship. This relationship is way different than I thought it was. Like, I want that storyline. Like, give me the fucking truth about your relationship.
No, I love a hot mic. Crazy. But like we
Oh
still
my God.
no one really looked into this rumor further. We don't
know, especially because like the other cast members obviously don't know this moment happened and how that the real conversation or like the conversation in front of cameras or even the hot mic. I did love Hulu being like, mics kept rolling even though cameras were down. Here's the audio. I was like, yes. Like, they didn't even give us like a fake camera shot of the like ground or anything. They were just like, let it rip.
They were like, we'll give you captions.
But I wonder what the rest of the cast is going to have to say about this in the next season. But they've already filmed that stuff, I think. So it would have to wait till like season 4 or something.
You don't think they see season 2 first and then they film season 3?
No, because at least the way it happened last season is they didn't even see season 1 when they were doing press for season 1. Like, they had no clue what was going on. It was crazy. So I think that they've already filmed at least a majority of season 3, and they don't know about the house of cards that is Demi and Brett's relationship.
The way I would, if I was a Mormon wife, stay up and watch all of this immediately. So then when we film the next day, I know what's happening. It's crazy. And I would immediately be like, let's go back 4 months and talk about this. Like, I'd be like, do you think they'd ever have like a reunion?
No, I feel like Hulu's not. Well, Hulu did one for Vanderpump Villa, so maybe.
Yeah. But like,
I don't want a reunion. I just want them to keep living their lives because I just want it ongoing beef constantly. Like, just keep showing me the group.
At calling each other out. So like, there's no need for like an Andy Cohen to then show up and be like, I would love them to answer fan questions though.
I think interviews need to be better on like what the press tour Hulu does. But also, speaking of Brett and Demi, they were on our Nemesis's podcast. And I'm like, I just know that man was helping spin some tall tale about how the hot mic this or that or whatever.
Yeah. Nick Viall can die. It's harsh, but I don't care. You just know that he's not getting to the true bottom of any fucking story. He doesn't care.
Agreed.
And he hates when people are villainized because he himself is a giant villain and he doesn't believe he should be. Whatever. But it was kind of a crazy season. I'm trying to think if there was anything. We didn't really touch on the Halloween of it all. If we want to go back and talk about Chase really quick.
Yes, and I just want to say this one thing. When the cops get called and Jesse's like, do you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? I cackled.
People were really dogging her on that, but I was like, no, because how do you explain that, like, there was a fight and there's cameras here? And, like, you have to think
the situation is fine. Like, the problem is if you watch season 1, you'll know what the problem is and why we're okay now.
So, like, just imagine cops pulling up, right? They see cameras rolling. They see, like, everyone dressed up in dumb costumes, but, like, they're not drunk because we're in Utah.
Oh, my God, I didn't even think about that.
There was a fight, and they're like, was it physical? Is anyone hurt? And Jesse's like, no. There was a fight, but it didn't get physical, but like it needed to happen and be really loud. Yeah. And how do you explain that the cameras? So I think it was so funny when she's like, have you seen this Mormon Wives?
She's like, how can I explain this as fast as possible to get the cops to go away? And she's like, have you ever seen the show I'm currently filming?
That would have, if I was a cop, I would have been like, oh, amazing. I would have waved at the camera for a second and been like,
I died. But yeah, the chase of it all.
Oh, that was so
good. That man is fame hungry. Chase is like, can I be cast on this show? He like wants to be a part of it.
Can I tell you how this is how you know I'm trash? Before he opened his mouth, before I knew anything about this man, because I didn't follow anything. He showed up on my screen and I was like, he's kind of hot. He's kind of hot. Didn't he have like a neck tattoo? I was kind of
but that was his costume. Like, he doesn't actually look like that.
Oh, it's not real? Oh, never mind. I love a neck tattoo. Never mind. Ugh.
Also, on socials, Chase and Taylor, like, after this was filmed, they were beefing. Like, he was like trying to like tell a version. It's funny because like Miranda eventually owns up to like the swinging. They just talk about it differently, but like they all agree that they were doing some crazy stuff. No sex was had, whatever. Like Miranda's like, got it. But online, Chase was like still pushing this narrative of like what didn't happen. And I think it's because he doesn't want to be the guy who like said he was in love with this girl and she didn't want him. Like he can't, that's the part he's like, that never happened. I'm like, no.
And also I have to say this, as crazy as she is, you've never caught Taylor Frankie Paul in a lie. We've never caught her in a lie.
I know.
She has yet to, and I think that's why she's so crazy, is because she is owning all this crazy shit. And you're like, maybe, you know how sometimes we say like, maybe just lie about it. Maybe just don't admit all your inside thoughts to the outside.
I think about that every time the swinging scandal comes up. Like, she was upfront from the moment it was going, like, again, a little too upfront. But everybody else has changed their stories and backpedaled and all this. And Taylor's like, all I have is the truth. Everybody already knows about this. Who cares? I truly feel like she's like, let's just get it out there because then we can move on. But the more people lie and try to like change the story, it's like, that's what's causing the interest in it. It's a constant back and forth. Just be like, listen, we all made out with each other. We had sex with our own partners in showers. It was crazy. We don't do it anymore. We're done.
Yeah, I think that's when Chase was like, I didn't say I was in love with you. I was like, dude, we have yet to catch her in a lie. So
like, this happened years ago. Just shut up.
Bad. All of the stuff she says, half of it makes her look terrible. But she owns it, dude. So like,
oh, the real stuff. I thought you meant like him.
Not necessarily the swinging, but everything Taylor has been so upfront and honest about, half of it makes her look fucking insane. But I agree. We have yet to catch her in a lie. So you think I'm going to not believe her in this situation?
That's the thing. She has my trust. You are nobody to me.
I don't care about you. And then everyone's like, stop wagging your finger in her face. Because he kept wagging. And then the girlfriend was crying.
Dude, that's what was crazy is like Chase has the girl he said he was into and denied him. He has his ex-wife and his girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, let me fight the girl I said I liked 2-3 years ago. While my ex-wife is like, this is chaotic. Like, I just don't want drama.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, the current girlfriend's like, I'm like, are they still dating? Because like, I hope they're not, because this is crazy. He's like so involved in this. And then when Demi's like, hey, why don't you go console your girlfriend? I love when people call men out like that. They're like, your girlfriend's crying. Why don't you go deal with that?
Fucking console her. It was chef's kiss. It was truly, these people have zero shame. I can understand why the Mormon church hates them. I get it.
That Halloween party, I was like, I'm embarrassed for all of you. All of you.
No, I get the Mormon church being like, don't come back.
That and every time Layla's like, I still haven't had an orgasm. I'm like, babe, why is this your story? Why are we saying these things out loud? You guys are weird on like what you want to tell the cameras, and like lie a little. Like, we don't have to talk about it all. Like, you guys are so funny.
My favorite thing is they do all of this and then they like sit down and they're like, I've been praying a lot. And I'm like, to who? You might as well pray to the Pope, because that's the closest you'll get to Jesus.
And every once in a while, when they're like, I'm going to have a sip of alcohol, I'm like, why do you guys flip-flop randomly and decide to have one glass of champagne for no reason?
No one likes one glass of champagne. No one's...
At this random Christmas party. What are we doing?
I'll just get a mocktail, truly. No, it's so funny. Then at the end of the day, you have to remember, like, they're deep in the Mormon church somehow still. I don't know how, because they have a whole sex party where they're like, what do you like? The other thing is they're so weird about it. They make it weird. I feel like if I was given, it's weird if it's being filmed, but like if I'm at a sex party, I'm gonna be like, let's just like go all in, you know? Like
That's
the
the
way
thing.
Taylor almost did. The way Taylor was like, yeah, that feels good. I like that. Fucking everyone else was like, I'm so straight. You shouldn't be touching.
That's the thing. They're like, I'm not into girls. I was like, that's you choosing to make it about that. Like, you're trying to make this. It's not. Obviously, it's about sex, but it's about like understanding what you might want to take into having sex with your partner. We're not asking for you to be turned on when somebody's putting a feather on you. It's just like, is this touch enjoyable? Nobody said is it like sexually enjoyable right now with your best friend putting a feather on you.
The best was Layla had to like lay down and she got like baby whipped, and she goes, I've learned I like it hard and rough. And I was like, girl, that was the softest little touch from a whip I've ever seen.
To them, that's probably hard and rough.
Not to Taylor. Taylor and Miranda have been doing shit.
Yes. But Layla, she's like, I'm into a little like riding crop, and it's like, babe,
you know why she likes that ugly ass dude? She's dickmatized because he did give her one orgasm. So
okay, for making that her entire storyline about never having an orgasm with a partner, they just dropped that in that she did finally have an orgasm, and I'm like, this is how you tell us? Like, you've been shouting from the rooftops about the lack of it.
You're gonna tell me that guy knew how to give you an orgasm? But the other thing is, they had been dating for how long and he hadn't done it? And I was like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
That's what I'm talking about. Is like, you're so embarrassing him and your relationship. And he's deeply Mormon still. Like, his dad's a bishop. I don't care what my dad does. Please don't talk about this on the internet or like anywhere. But then like, and then he's like somebody in a church, a deeply conservative church.
Me?
Have some shame.
I'm getting sweaty thinking like if I was on TV and I had to be like, I've never had an orgasm before. My dad's like, what? Oh, no. Terrible. Guess what? If I'm on reality TV, I'm a virgin, and that's that.
Same. Like, I could do that sex party and just be like, oh yeah, I like this, and yeah, weird for your family, but I'd be like, skip this part.
Mom and Dad don't watch this episode.
Yeah, but I wouldn't make it weird. Again, it's like how Taylor was like, no, I like that feels good. Like, we're not making it super sexual. I'm not talking about my sex life and my confessionals.
What's weird
for my family to watch.
I'm so straight, and it's like, you sound like
you're really convincing me.
A closeted white man right now. I'm the straightest I've ever been. Okay. Yeah. Maybe you want to just try it out. Like, I think that's what that sounds like. Jesse and Demi are sitting over there. I'm so straight. Don't even touch me. I was like, they want to make out.
They're trying to convince themselves.
Be more gay. I liked when Taylor was like, Miranda's a great kisser. And Miranda just
I loved that because it's like, Taylor's like, I just kiss girls randomly. Taylor can like have a good time, and it's not that deep, but everybody else will take little things and be like, oh my God, I could never. And it's like, lighten up.
Girls? Yeah, bitch. Who fucking has it?
Who cares?
Taylor was drunk for 3 years of her life. Of course she was kissing girls.
Loved it. I was like, maybe I should kiss a girl soon.
You've never kissed a girl?
No, I'm saying like, this is inspiring me to go get drunk and just kiss a girl. Like, how fun. It's not that serious.
College, I kiss girls all the time. Who cares? Kiss anything, honestly. But who cares? But it was weird. These women are weirdos.
I know.
Except Michaela and Macy and Miranda. Well, they're all weirdos and they're all MAGA except Layla and Miranda, to which I say, I stand the two of you somehow the most. Even
Agreed.
Layla, who I think is a terrible friend. At least you voted for people's rights. Their human rights.
Well, you're not my friend, so I guess I don't care.
Well, yeah, but at least you voted correct.
I agree. I'm saying, as bad as she is of a friend,
you, but at least you're
not my problem.
You're using your vote for the better.
Yeah, how you vote is my problem.
Yeah,
you are a friend of these people, not my problem.
I don't have to trust you, but I trust you more with your vote for sure. Yeah. But I do want to say, I didn't follow up to this creator Jordan. I would like to know if it seems like some of them maybe wouldn't vote. Like, I think Taylor would forget election existed.
I don't think they care, which is Taylor that's also dangerous.
Who's president? Taylor doesn't have any idea.
Taylor is like just banging Dakota still on the side and having crash outs once a week. Yeah, the presidency is the least of her worries.
Taylor's dad is huge MAGA, and I hate it. I know it.
Gross.
Okay, this was fun, though. This was fun. This was a fun little episode.
I loved it.
I don't think I did this at the beginning. I think we jumped right in. But Meredith and I have an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube, a Patreon. All the links are in our description. Also, please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. It helps the podcast. And with that, it was a lovely season of Mormon Wives. I would say season 3 is going to be great, but it's probably going to be as stupid as this
It's
one.
going to be more of this.
But it gave us a lot to talk about. So amazing. Love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.